Today I'm diving into something that a lot of women get wrong. We're talking about why he ghosted you. And the real reason has nothing to do with him. It's about you hiding your feminine expression. Trigger warning, this episode might fucking trigger you. It just might. And if you're not actively dating and you're actually just in partnership with someone, still stick around because this is all about hiding feminine expression and the fucking detriment of it. By the way, this episode is by no means excusing the behavior of ghosting. That's immature. It's a reflection of a lack of emotional availability and intelligence. But I always feel like there are learning opportunities for us as women when these things happen. So back to my thesis here that I'm going to be revolving around. All of this has to do with your connection to your feminine expression. Men are mirrors. They reflect back what they see. And if you're not giving them anything to work with, if you're not showing up as the muse, the creatrix, the woman whose life inspires, then they can't be the artist because an artist needs a muse. They seek inspiration from us. They need fuel to create. So I'm going to be identifying how to embody the muse. And if you're more of the artist, we're going to get into that too, so don't worry. I have been on both sides of this pole and I can say confidently, it's just not very fucking sexy. It kills polarity. So women are like, oh my God, I feel so dry. And also he's not taking me out on dates, bitch. It's probably because you feel dry. If you're wondering why he has stopped planning date nights, why he stopped showing up sexually, why the passion is fading, it's probably because you weren't embodying your full feminine energy. Yes, he has a side as well, but right now we're talking about you, baby girl. You might have not been feeding into the polarity because you weren't actually feeling alive in all of the ways that would empower a man to step into his masculine primal energy. I know this personally. With my ex, I hid my feminine expression, so he stopped showing up. He stopped creating date nights. He stopped kind of like instigating sex, right? He lost inspiration. He lost direction because there was no muse. I wasn't alive. And it had nothing to do with him being bad. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with me not being fully me. And of course, him not knowing how to voice that what he needed was for me to be more expressed, right? So we were just two people walking in the dark, the blind leading the blind, or however that saying goes. So this is why I love this work, because it gives you a language to be able to communicate with each other as a couple. And if you're not in a relationship, but you're dating, this just gives you more language for how to show up as a fully expressed woman. Because whether you're being a muse for your romantic partner or for yourself or in your business, like, it doesn't matter. We need you as the muse. We need your creative energy. When you learn how to embody these archetypes, your relationships stay alive and passionate and magnetic. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of all of this. If you identify as more of the muse, you want to play in that space more. This is typically the woman, not always, but typically. Your first job is to fuel yourself. Ask yourself, what makes me feel alive? Is it a pleasure ritual? Is it time in nature, dancing, singing, moving your body in ways that remind you you're a sensual, alive woman? When you create art in your own life, it spills into your relationship. You become irresistible, not because you're manipulating and doing it out of a, if I do this, then he'll love me, but it's just a natural product of who you are. Your energy becomes magnetic, and the men in your life feel inspired to step in their masculine in response to that. So again, this is not a manipulative thing. This is you feeding you. And then watching how your surroundings react to the fact that you're doing you. I personally activate my muse with dance. And the way that I bring this into my everyday life is with timers. So when I'm at work, sitting on my desk, I put a timer for 25 minutes where I'm dedicated work time. My phone is on Do Not Disturb. No one can fucking contact me because I'm dedicated working. After the 25 minutes, I set one song that I dance for and I fucking go in. I dance. And sometimes that movement turns into more of a somatic release. Sometimes I end up crying. Sometimes I end up laughing. I'm just open to whatever my body wants to do in that moment. After that song is done, close up shop, back to my 25 minutes of work. That's how I work. That's how I stay magnetic. That's how I stay creative. And just to be fully fucking honest, I wasn't doing this in my relationships. So my muse dried out, polarity dried out, and I can take responsibility for that. So learn from my mistake. Don't sabotage your relationships and turn your muse on. Honestly, when I don't do this 25 minutes, one song rotation that I do, I feel so burnt out by the end of the day. I'm just like fucking annoyed at everything. And if you don't work for yourself, and let's say that you work in an office where this type of practice is not available to you, find out what does work for you. Work with a coach that can help you build the tools to create accountability and actually learn how to bring in the muse into your life. If you want to explore one-on-one work with me, I will drop that link in the show notes. So wrapping up the muse here, the muse sets polarity and attraction and desire in motion by embodying aliveness. Period. Now, if you identify as more of the artist, by the way, you can be both sides of this pole. It's actually really important to learn both. But anyway, if you are playing with more of the artist, your job is to prepare the container so that you can receive the muse fully. Do you have a meditation practice? Do you have a grounding ritual? Are you centered in yourself in order to show up for her aliveness? Are you ready to receive the passion, the emotion, and the creativity that she brings? Because if not, the muse is gonna feel overwhelming as fuck, chaotic as fuck, and you're gonna label your muse too much. I've had a partner who embodied this type of artist. He was just completely overwhelmed and completely shut me down. Any type of expression that I had was way too much. So at the time, being the good girl that I was, I toned it down and I was like, okay, I just want you to love me. So I'm gonna turn down all of my aliveness. I repressed my emotion, I repressed my sensuality, and I became a really dry fucking woman, a really resentful fucking woman. Don't be me. But when the masculine is grounded and present and inspired, he will naturally take the reins of showing up, providing, creating, and leading in a way that keeps the relationship passionate and sexy. This is Shiva energy. Shiva is the space holder for Shakti to dance freely. And if you don't get the reference of the Hindu gods, just ignore that or Google it. But Shiva and Shakti are actually two very powerful energies / deities. So if you're dating and a man has ghosted you, I want you to ask yourself, was I being fully expressed as me? Was I being fully alive? Or, catch this please, because a lot of women get stuck here. Putting a smile on your face and makeup and heels doesn't mean that you're being feminine and alive. That means that you're playing a part, babe. Are you playing a part, or are you being fully expressed in your feminine range? Please know the difference. I'm getting goosebumps in my body as I say this, because this is what fucks women up. Feminine embodiment work is so like a hot spot, like just a thing in social media right now. But I need you to distinguish on performance and authentic embodiment of what it means to you. Because even what you're seeing right now as my feminine expression is not yours. It's not yours. Find what is yours and roll with that wave. But don't copy. Find what's yours. Find your aliveness. Find your muse. That's what's going to inspire your relationships. I have had beautiful female clients come in with the same story, that passion is lost in a long-term marriage or a single woman continuing to get ghosted by men. I mean, these are beautiful fucking women with hearts of gold. And I'm highlighting the missing link here. So don't let this episode be just another thing you listen to and forget. I want you to get real with yourself. Are you actually embodying your muse? Are you actually embodying your authentic feminine expression? I used to have a story that inhibited me from being expressed. And I would tell myself, oh, he can't handle it. This is way too much for him. This is gonna be just annoying, so I'm not gonna bring it into the relationship. It's no use. Babe, I need you to share that thing, because that little story does nothing for you and it does nothing for your partner. In fact, it's killing your polarity. Because if you don't even give someone the chance to love you and to see you, then they will never love you for who you are, because you're not even showing up as that. Please, please give them the opportunity to see you. In one of my client sessions, I had a client, like we came to this point where she realized like, okay, I need to be more expressed. And he was like, yeah, I fucking want more. And then she looked at him and she was super shy and she said, are you sure that you want it? And he was like, yes! Like this happens all the time. Men want more. So women, express the more. The feminine energy is fucking limitless in terms of how much pleasure she can feel, how much anger she can feel. So allow yourself to expand into that big ass range that we have as women. It's exquisite. And this is how you become powerful and magnetic and alive in everything that you do. So let's get into some action steps here. Here is what I want you to do. For my muses, identify what brings your muse alive. Is it a daily practice that makes you feel expressed, raw, and sensual and creative? Is it a weekly practice? Like, what is the cadence and what is the thing? For my artists, I want you to take inventory of your masculine container. Are you showing up grounded and centered and ready to hold space for whatever the muse brings into the space? And begin to co-create consciously. Remember that relationships are an energetic dance. And when you embody the muse fully, and when the artist is the artist fully, passion flows, polarity ignites, and ghosting becomes a thing of the past because two people are fully embodied. And by the way, your aliveness and turning on your muse, the success of that is not contingent upon the person being able to hold that. I've had this happen with clients as well, where the woman becomes fully expressed. She starts to awaken into her erotic aliveness, into her pleasure, into her joy, and she becomes so much more magnetic. And the man doesn't meet her, and the man shuts her down. And that just means that that relationship is no longer aligned. The trick here is acknowledging that your success as the muse is not contingent upon someone else cheering you on. It's not contingent upon someone else saying, yes, I want that. Because if someone says, no, I don't want that, then you get to take your sexy ass energy and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna take it somewhere else then. That's it. So whether you're in partnership or whether you're dating, remember these principles and send this to someone that's also in relationship. I genuinely feel like when we heal in relationships, so much changes. There are a few threads in humanity that bring us together, and one of those is relationships. We all deeply care about relationships, whether it's romantic or friendship or family, we care. So why not be intentional with our relationships? If you're inspired and you're like, I want more of this, head into the show notes, check out my free membership, check out my paid membership, check out my one-on-one services. I would love to work with you and go deeper into these topics.